Now, live on WPRI 12 and on WPRI.com. This is Eyewitness News at 6. Coverage you can count on.
Day 5 of the gas emergency on Aquidneck Island, and officials say they're only halfway there.
New at 6, how businesses have been dealing with a nearly week-long outage.
And a seasonably chilly, dry Friday evening. We'll take a look at your weekend forecast coming up.
But first, breaking news. The U.S. Senate has unanimously approved a bill to temporarily reopen the government. It now heads to the House, where it's also expected to pass.
President Donald Trump announced the deal this afternoon, ending for now the longest shutdown in U.S. history. The announcement came hours after air traffic control staffing shortages led to delays at a number of major airports, including LaGuardia Airport in New York.
Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us live from TF Green in Warwick with reaction there. Steph?
Well, many employees who work here at TF Green for the TSA or the FAA have been working for more than a month without pay. President Trump today did say as soon as the government reopens, they will get back pay.
5 weeks, 40 hours a week, 200 hours. Haven't seen a paycheck.
Dan Cruz and his fellow FAA workers picketing outside TF Green as the government shutdown is coming to an end, but only for 3 weeks.
I'm going to be optimistic and hope we can make a deal in that 3 weeks, but I got to be realistic also that in 3 weeks I could be right back out here doing the same thing, you know, worrying about my paycheck.
Cruz is in the Professional Aviation Safety Specialists Union. Their technicians make sure the air traffic navigation systems are working and maintain landing systems, key to passenger safety.
You know, people are stressed out, and you're supposed to be focusing on what you're doing, not worrying about, you know, can I pay my electric bill?
I want to thank all of the incredible federal workers.
In announcing the deal to reopen the government, President Donald Trump acknowledged the workers' suffering.
And not only did you not complain, but in many cases you encouraged me to keep going because you care so much about our country.
I've heard a lot of complaining. In my office, there's a lot of complaints, and they just keep getting worse because, you know, we're not getting any answers.
And there's no word yet on when those FAA employees will get their back pay. They tell me they are worried this could repeat itself in 3 weeks, trying to budget for a potential government shutdown becoming an unfortunate part of their daily lives. Live in Warwick, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Steph. Now at 6, we are on day 5 of the gas emergency that has cut off service to thousands on Aquidneck Island.
Tonight, National Grid says it's still going to be a while longer before everyone has their gas service back.
As of this afternoon, National Grid says it had shut off all of the affected gas meters in Newport and had begun phase 2 of the restoration, which is repressurizing the system. National Grid says that will likely take several hours. And once that's done, they still have to go back to every home and building to turn the service back on.
Eyewitness News reporter Kate Walsh joins us now live from Newport with the latest developments. Kate?
Well, Mike and Shannon, we are live at the National Grid Command Center where hundreds of technicians are waiting to roll out in these trucks and vans, but they're waiting for the lines to first be repressurized before they can start going door to door restoring gas. And they're asking people once again to let them do that work. Do not try to restore gas yourself. National Grid in phase 2 of restoring gas for 6,500 customers in Newport. Eyewitness News got you this video of crews working to repressurize the gas lines, a necessary task before technicians can start relighting everyone's gas. A tedious task that could take days.
Please have a plan. The governor has encouraged all residents to make sure that they get out of their homes, make sure that they find a safe, secure, and warm place to take care of themselves and their families.
While homes are evacuated, we found some businesses downtown are starting to reopen. Some, like the general store, have been open all along.
Tuesday, my partner closed, I think about noon, but we had 2 good sales.
They've been toughing it out with a space heater, something not every place can do.
I can't imagine. People are coming in and saying that they're here on vacation. None of the restaurants are open because most of them are gas. I feel for them. I mean, this is our off season anyway, so we weren't, you know, that upset.
Now, once crews get the all clear to start going door to door restoring gas, they said that process could take about 45 minutes at each house. So you can imagine it's going to take a few days, they said, before everyone has their gas restored. We'll continue to cover this story for you throughout this whole outage, and you can find the latest online at WPRI.com. Live in Newport tonight, I'm Kate Walsh, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kate. And as we've told you, Newport schools have been closed all week because of the gas emergency.
And tonight we have an answer on whether or not students will have to make up those days. The Education Department tells us the Newport superintendent does plan on submitting a waiver so schools do not have to make up all of the days. The department says they haven't received it yet, so they can't say how many days will be approved.
Meanwhile, we've learned a leading lawmaker from Aquidneck Island has sent a letter to National Grid and the company that supplies the gas to the region, asking them to meet with legislators and to answer questions.
Eyewitness Target 12 investigator Tim White spoke with two state senators from Middletown and Newport and is here now with what he's learned.
State Senator Lou DePalma sent this two-page letter to National Grid and gas supplier Enbridge on Wednesday, requesting a meeting as soon as services are restored to the island.
This is unprecedented, what we're seeing here.
State Senators Lou DePalma of Middletown and Don Oyer of Newport frustrated that answers are hard to come by.
I think it's completely unacceptable, really, that we're getting conflicting information at this point.
By the end of February, have a meeting with both of the companies, whether I like to do it together. They may not want to do it together, but we will get to the bottom of this.
With National Grid picking up the tab on hotels and possibly on the hook for damages to homes and businesses, both lawmakers say they will fight any move to pass those costs on to ratepayers.
You know, National Grid recorded a record 24% increase in profits in 2018, which is $3.66 billion. So there's absolutely no reason that the cost of this disaster should be passed on to the ratepayers.
The cost for the overtime for police and fire to support that will go to the utility company.
Because Aquidneck Island is at the end of the line, DePalma also wants to examine the reliability of the pipeline that feeds the gas into the communities and whether major infrastructure improvements need to be made. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
National Grid is asking residents to make sure their contact information is up to date, including cell phone numbers. If you need to give them your contact info, you can call customer service at 800-870-1664.
And if you smell gas, you can call National Grid's emergency line at 800-640-1595. Now it's 6, New England Nation. Looking ahead to the big game just over a week away. On Sunday, the Patriots will depart for Atlanta, but not before a big send-off rally at Gillette Stadium.
Their goal, of course, to return home with a 6th Super Bowl title and for those duck boats to be waiting for them. Ruthie Polinsky joins us live from Gillette Stadium with an update on the team. Ruthie?
Hey, Mike and Shannon. Well, the Patriots are locked in as they get ready for Super Bowl 53. Today we heard from Julian Edelman and Jason McCourty, and they are very focused and locked in on the Rams, but they're also taking every second of this not taking every second of this for granted. They're embracing every moment of this opportunity, and the Patriots practicing indoors again today, as they have been doing all week as they prepare to play in a dome in Atlanta. Full attendance at practices there has been all week, and you may have seen video from the AFC Championship game where you saw Julian Edelman screaming at Tom Brady, "You're too old, you're too old." Julian Edelman was asked about his relationship with Tom Brady today.
He's a quarterback, I'm a receiver. There's a lot of other guys that have that, same carrying with, and that's just because we've played a long time together, and you learn guys in and out. We see each other more than we see our families. It's cool to get to play with guys that you have friendships with.
And the Patriots will hold their final media obligations on tomorrow. Tom Brady will also speak to the media tomorrow. And then, of course, that big send-off rally is on Sunday when the Patriots head to Atlanta. Live at Gillette Stadium tonight, I'm Ruthie Polinsky, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Ruthie. And the Pinpoint News Tracker taking you to Atlanta now, where the city is getting ready for a week of activities leading up to the big game. The city's Centennial Park will be home to Super Bowl Live. It will feature free concerts through the week.
The NFL Experience will be located in walking distance from the park, featuring all 52 championship rings, a replica of the locker room, and other activities. Both are set to open to the public tomorrow.
And Ruthie will be joining Yanni Karakis and JP Smallins in Atlanta. We'll have live reports from the site of Super Bowl 53 beginning Sunday.
And beginning next Thursday, your official Rhode Island Patriots station has you covered with New England Nation big game specials leading up to and after the game on Sunday, February 3rd.
New at 6, a Fall River firefighter is accused of making several fake 911 calls. Fall River's fire chief tells us Kyle Cusick was charged this week with making false alarms. He'd been on paid administrative leave since January 3rd while police investigated. The chief tells us they will now take steps to fire him. The chief calls the charges against Cusick a shock and, quote, a mortal sin for firefighters. There's more coverage you can count on Eyewitness News at 6. A phone call brings a lot of police to a local home. But police now say the call was a case of swatting, and they want to find the person responsible.
And nearly 4 years after a man was shot and killed during a robbery, one of the suspects admits to his role in the crime.
Get more breaking news from the online leader, WPRI.com. Sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses. Nairobi offers same-day mattress eye delivery on Tempur-Pedic, Beauty Rest Black, and more.